Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Anna and I'm a random stranger on the internet talking to you about beauty. Today I am doing my first update on my Pan That Eyeshadow Challenge. So what I do is I'm working on 5 different eyeshadows throughout my collection, and I'm just trying to get a little more use and pan on my collection. I have this huge collection of eyeshadows, which I love, and I don't have a problem with that, but it's kind of weird to open it up and I feel like my collection doesn't show how much love I have for it. You know, I have less than 1% pan on my collection, so I'm really just trying to hit pan on more shades, get more use out of my collection, and I figured this type of challenge would really motivate me to dig into some shades I wouldn't necessarily do. So if you're ready, let's jump right into the heart of the video, shall we? The first one was actually from this Urban Decay Smoked palette. Does anybody remember this? I bought this when I was younger, going out a lot more, and I wanted something for that smoky eye that I used to do all the time. Haven't reached for it in a long time. It's been a long time since my going out years were present. Anyway, I was panning this shade right here called Freestyle, and as you can see on camera, I hit massive pan on this shade. This palette's really showing its age. It is super powdery now, but this was just a great crease shade that I used. I actually only used it 4 times before I hit pan, and then I have used it an additional 5 times to get that size pan. So I was pretty excited with that. So that will be the first shade that will be rolling out of this challenge. Kind of look like that if you can see it. And we will be rolling in one more. The second shade was from another Urban Decay shade from the Naked 3. It was the shade Strange. It was this shade right here. I don't know if it is coming across on camera. Obviously no pan on it, but there is a very sizable dip. This was a just white shade that I used to set my eyeshadow primer. I had never been in the habit of setting eyeshadow primers, but I actually really like doing it. And so I'm hoping to hit pan on this maybe next month. I did use it, let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking at my tally sheet here. I did use it 32 times. Now if you're like, well, that's more than a month's worth of use. I did count it when I was doing like my makeup playtime. Anytime I would sit down and just play with eyeshadows or something like that, I do count that. But I don't count reapplications. Well, I do count reapplications, I just don't reapply that. But yeah, so I'm hoping to hit pan next month, but these are very, very deep pans. And they're not really like the round ones where you kind of are dipping in the center, you're kind of using the whole pan. But I have loved reaching into this palette. I really use this Limit shade a lot, and I also found myself reaching into Trick a lot. So it was kind of fun playing with this palette. Yes, used this 32 times, no pan yet. The third shade was from my MAC palette. It was the Cool Neutral palette, and it was the shade Blackberry, which was this matte purple shade up here. Now I used this 14 times, and you cannot, I mean, maybe there's a hair of a dip in there. I felt like I was really using this. I felt like I did so many matte purple looks this month. This is the shade right here, Blackberry, and I don't know, I'm not really in love with that shade, although it does help me reach into this palette because this palette was not getting used at all. So I did looks with this obviously, and then I would pair it with this shade right here, this gray, as a companion shade, which actually I feel like shows more of a dip than the purple, but what are you gonna do? All right, the next one came from the Tarte Toasted, well, the Tarte Toasted palette, and it was the shade Candle, and I used this 18 times, and then I think you can see right there is the teensiest, tiniest pan, and I used it after it took me 18 uses to hit pan, and I have to say I had not used this shade really before that, so went really, really quickly. But I was also, it's a very loosely milled glitter shade that I am not overly crazy about. I do like it better packed on wet, but it just had so much fallout and stuff, so I wasn't crazy about this particular shade, although I do still really love this palette. Yep, 18 uses and then one additional time on that. And it is this shimmer shade right here. The last one was from the ABH Subculture palette. And oh my god, I've had so much fun playing with this palette and just kind of reaching into it and having fun with it. The color I'm supposed to be working on, and I think you can tell in here, is this shade Edge right here. I used this 11 times this month, and there's definitely a dip going on. It's not hard to get a dip in these though. They are very, very soft, but I just really enjoyed playing with it. It's a very fall color, I find, but I was really making a lot of like goldy tan looks, you know, like that gold bronzed kind of summer looks that I was loving. I think you can also tell I reached into this shade Fudge a lot, and then Destiny as well. I also loved doing looks with Roxy, but yeah, I was having a lot of fun, but we are not even close to hitting pan on that shade yet. So that's what we were working with. Overall, I had a lot of fun. I am really pleased I hit blah, 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 blah. I am really pleased that I hit pan on 2 different shades. I really thought I was only gonna hit it on the smoked palette, but then when I dipped my brush into the Tarte palette, I was like, yes, that is awesome. So we hit pan on 2 shades, which means we will roll in 2 additional colors to this challenge, which I'm really excited about because I'm ready to do some new looks. Like, I'm ready to, you know, it's been a month, I'm ready to play with some new palettes. I have 454 eyeshadows, and I'm gonna pull up my Pretty Random app, and we're gonna go minimum of 1, maximum of 451. All right. And we'll hit random. I got the shade 407 and 198. So 407, 198. Let me go grab those and see what we're working with. All right, so I generated the number 407, which actually comes from the ABH Soft Glam, and it is the shade Sultry. So this one right here. I'm super excited to pull this palette out and use it. I feel like this is going to be so much fun to use. And then the other one I was not as excited to get. It was number 193, which is actually the shade Sweet Allure from the MAC palette. And it is the shade right here. This just like white nude color. And I was like, but these go so slow. They go so slow. But all right. I mean, at least I will have a good excuse to really continue to dig into this palette. I do think I'm going to be a little slow on this palette, that new shade, just because you know, I'm already trying to pan this all over shade from the Naked palette. But, I mean, what are you going to do, right? So, look forward to this palette being in here for quite a while, because otherwise I don't know. However, after I pan the Naked 3 shade in here, after I pan the shade Strange in Naked 3, it shouldn't be that big of a deal to go ahead and go into this and just start using a different all over setting color. So it's not going to be that bad. I just, in my mind, I'm like, I'm a bit scared because that one doesn't even show a hint of the use that it has been getting. So, oh well, what are you gonna do? All right. So this is the shade Sultry from the Soft Glam palette. I'm really looking forward to this. This is a beautiful quad right here. Let me add in the last shade, but I'm like, whew, this would be the perfect fall quad. Perfect fall quad. Too bad it is the middle of summer. Oh well, what are you going to do, right? I mean, it just is what it is. Alright, and so this will be the quint that we will be working with in this time. Most of these have never really been used. Actually, I know for sure I have never before this challenge ever touched the Blackberry shade or Sweet Allure. So these shades are practically untapped, which is going to give me a good count of how long it takes to pan these type of shadows. But this will be what we're working with. These are our two new shades down here. And I really think after I pan this one, it shouldn't be a big deal to pan that one. So we'll just keep on trucking. All right, guys, thank you so much for following me in this challenge. There are some other fantastic creators out there who are doing very similar challenges, so please check them out. I'll link some of them down below. Have a fabulous day. Go out into the world, be you, be fabulous. Bye.